This morning, you washed your hands. Soap, warm water, maybe a squirt of sanitizer after. And in 10 seconds, you wiped out an entire civilization. That's not a metaphor. On your skin live more bacteria than all the humans who have ever lived. Trillions of them. Living, eating, working. And almost none of them are trying to hurt you. Most of them are the reason you're alive. So why have we spent 100 years trying to kill them? Here's something nobody tells you. You are not a single organism. You're a walking ecosystem. 38 trillion bacterial cells call your body home, roughly as many as your own human cells. Half of what you call you isn't human at all. And it's no accident. It's a partnership millions of years old. They digest your food. They train your defenses. They make vitamins your body cannot make alone. For 300,000 years, every human alive was coated in them. Filthy by our standards, covered in dirt, soil, other people's germs. And it was the healthiest thing they could possibly do. So what changed? It started with a hero. Vienna, 1847. A maternity ward where women kept dying. A doctor named Ignaz Semmelweis found the cause was the doctors themselves. They went from cutting open corpses straight to delivering babies, without ever washing their hands. He made them wash. The deaths collapsed. He was right. Washing your hands saves lives. This part is true. Then Pasteur and Lister proved it, invisible germs cause disease. Germ theory was one of the greatest discoveries in human history. It doubled the human lifespan. It is not the villain here. But here's where the story turns. Because someone realized fear of germs could be sold. And once you can sell fear, you never stop. 1920s America. A struggling company has a surgical antiseptic. It was originally sold to clean floors and treat wounds. It wasn't selling. So the ad men invented a disease. They took an obscure medical word for bad breath. Halitosis. Almost no one had heard it. That was the point. Their ad, always a bridesmaid, never a bride. The message, your own body is offensive, and you don't even know it. Listerine's sales went from $100,000 to $8 million in 7 years. They didn't sell a cure. They sold a fear with no off switch. And it worked so well that everyone copied it. Soon germs weren't just on your hands. They were everywhere, coming for you. Antibacterial soap. Antibacterial wipes. Antibacterial cutting boards. We scrubbed our homes cleaner than operating rooms. One chemical, triclosan, ended up in soap, toothpaste, even toys. Then in 2016, the FDA banned it from consumer soaps. Why? Because it worked no better than plain soap. And it may have been quietly harming you the whole time. But this was only the surface. Because as we won the war on germs, something strange hit our children. Asthma. Eczema. Hay fever. Allergies to food that never hurt anyone. They didn't rise slowly. They exploded. And only in the clean, rich, industrialized world. In 1989, a British scientist, David Strachan, found the clue. He studied 17,000 children. The result was backwards: more older siblings meant fewer allergies. More messy siblings meant more germs, and a healthier child. He called it the hygiene hypothesis. The idea was heresy, maybe we'd become too clean. For years it was just a theory. Then came the perfect experiment. 2 farming communities in America, almost identical genes, the Amish and the Hutterites. Same ancestry. Same diet. Same big families, no smoking. One difference, the Amish farm by hand, right beside their animals. The Hutterites used giant machines, far from the barn. In 2016, in the New England Journal of Medicine, the result landed. Amish children had 4 times less asthma. The difference was the dust, air thick with the microbes of cows, hay, and soil. They blew Amish barn dust into the noses of mice. The mice became protected from asthma. The huttered dust did nothing. The germs weren't the threat. The germs were the training. But the worst part isn't what's happening to you. It's what you're passing on. A baby is born sterile. No microbes at all. Its first gift comes at birth, a coat of its mother's bacteria. That first coat trains the immune system for life. But today, 1 in 3 babies is born by C-section, skipping that first crucial handoff of microbes. Those babies have higher rates of asthma, allergies, and obesity. Then we hand them antibiotics and wipe the slate again. Antibiotics save lives. But they don't aim. They carpet bomb. And some species, once gone, never come back. A scientist named Martin Blaser calls them our missing microbes. Each generation inherits a smaller, poorer ecosystem than the last. We are quietly going extinct on the inside. Now think about what that does to your immune system. It's an army trained over millions of years to fight real enemies. Worms, parasites, dangerous bacteria, a daily war. But in your clean modern body, the enemies never come. An army with no war doesn't disband. It gets restless. So it attacks the only things left: pollen, peanuts, cat hair. That's an allergy, your defenses firing at a harmless ghost. And sometimes, with no enemy at all, the army turns inward. It attacks your own joints, your gut, your nerves. We call these autoimmune diseases, rising everywhere we get cleaner. Friendly fire from an army we forgot to give an enemy. So how do you fix an ecosystem you spent a century destroying? You do something that sounds insane. You put the missing microbes back in. Doctors now treat deadly gut infections with a transplant of another healthy person's stool. Yes, a transplant of living microbes from someone else's body. For one infection, it cures over 90% of patients. We now pay to put back exactly what we worked so hard to remove. Scientists study the Hadza of Tanzania, who still live wild. Their guts hold species ours lost generations ago. We study them like a backup of a file we deleted. So here's the truth nobody put on the soap bottle. Dirt was never the enemy. For 300,000 years the world was filthy, and your body expected it. Your immune system was built by that filth, not in spite of it. Then, in a single century, we sterilized everything. And we called it progress. We were sold a war against an enemy that was mostly our friend. And we won. We wiped them out. The allergies, the eczema, the autoimmune disease, that's the bill. When your body attacks a peanut, it isn't broken. It's an old soldier, still hunting a war that no longer exists. You were never meant to be this clean. And the saddest part? Nobody told you what you were losing while you scrubbed it all away.